Hello and welcome. I am Scrapperlock and this is Planet Zoo. We're going to go on with the fourth mission of the career mode, which I have found wildly frustrating. I've tried it twice now, and my problem is once again I'm trying to beautify things, and they have everything locked so that you can't, and I find that really frustrating. So I'm gonna not worry about beautifying things for right now, at least until we've unlocked the research that we have to unlock. I'll explain it as we go. But anyway, we're going into the Maple Leaf Wildlife Park for the Eye of the Taiga mission. So we're going to start a new mission, and I'm going to not worry about prettifying it, or at least I'm not going to do anything that's too complicated from the beginning because they don't want you to, right? It's clear that they want you to just follow their instructions. So here we are
After your sterling work in
at
China,
the
I got
new
a bit of
zoo,
good
and it's basically a
news,
blank
better
slate.
news situation for you. The good news
Look
is
how gorgeous the
that
water
I'm
is.
promoting
It's
you
really
to
beautiful.
apprentice zoo manager. The better news
Great
is
job with the modeling.
you get to build a new zoo from scratch. That said, you will be on your own this time. No help from Nancy, although she wishes you luck. So, I suppose it's actually more of a good news, better news, and then slightly worse news situation. Either way, it's a chance for you to really prove yourself.
Look how
Now,
beautiful the grass
for
is,
this
waving in the
zoo,
breeze.
I want to see a good
It's really
few
well
different
modeled.
habitat
All of
and
it is.
exhibit
It's gorgeous.
species, and at least as many guests to look at them. I'd also like you to keep your staff nice and happy as much as you can. And obviously the same's true of the animals as well.
Of course.
And let's see. Yeah, you should try to turn a good-sized profit to boot, so we can continue our vital work elsewhere. There. That should keep you going for a while. I'll check in with you later. Good luck.
Thank you. All right, so let's take a look at the goals and the zoo, and then I'll talk about why I was frustrated. So bronze is to have 3 habitat species in the zoo. That should be easy. 175 guests should come in with 3 habitat species. Silver is 5 habitat species and 2 exhibits, and an overall staff happiness of 75, which means we're going to need staff rooms and things like that. And then gold is 7 habitat species in the zoo, 4 exhibit species, and $10,000 profit. So what was frustrating me is this stuff here, which is really cool wood. If you click on it, if we edit into it and we click on that, this is a log wall. We do not have this available. And so what I was doing was I was copying pieces of this because you already have it, right? I find this very frustrating that they built part of the park with stuff we do not have the research to build. And then when I tried to match it, I had a problem. So I pulled a bunch of these off. I came over here, I constructed what I wanted to surround the buildings that we need because we need a research center and a workshop. I put them down here. I saved this as a blueprint. When I tried to load it as a blueprint, I can show you here, it's locked. And I'm like, why is it locked? It's my blueprint. Well, it's locked because we don't have the research to do these pieces yet. So we're going to have to research them with a mechanic. Not sure what theme it's from, but we're going to have to research those. So we're not going to be able to do that from the beginning, and I'm just going to leave bare staff rooms because I'm tired of spending like an hour and a half trying to get the really awful user interface on how to control groups and how to click on things and how to do this stuff. It's so frustrating to even get the controls to work, and then after finally getting it to look right, finding out I can't put it in here, I was just like, I'm over this. So we're going to go ahead and put a staff room in for the wellness of the staff, and we're going to go ahead and put the research and the workshop over here. So what I'm going to do is start by actually moving the plants. And what we're going to do is we'll put some trees here to hide the ugliness of the staff buildings, but I am not going to worry about making them look super themed and pretty until we have the research to do so. I mean, as much as I want to make this look good, I'm not going to fight with it endlessly. There's just no point to doing that. So what we're going to do is we're going to delete these guys. We will not be able to bring them back, but that's okay. And over here, I am going to, on these guys, just move them rather than delete them in case we want them back, but I doubt we will. And we're going to need to move these flowers over. And again, I'm not deleting them because I don't know if we even have them researched to bring them back. But now that we have this space, we should be able to create a staff room and some other facilities. So let's go ahead and look at the staff facilities, and here is the small staff room. Why is it snapping to that? Why would it do this now? Like, why would it snap to a weird angle like that? I don't understand this game. I really don't. Alright, so that is the staff room. And now we need the workshop. And we're going to move this to, I think, here. Move you. And now we're going into facilities. We're going to need a research center. Why are these angle snapping like this? This is so weird. When the last time I played this game, they were snapping to that angle. That is very strange. Well, that's the angle we want, I guess. So there's one. And then we're going to do the workshop. And that goes right there. Okay, so they're lined up. They look good. We will be able to hide them eventually with more of these themed log cabin elements, but we don't have those elements yet. And I'm not going to try to do the construction on these guys. I've just had too many frustrations. I want to get started on building a habitat. So what we are going to do is go into nature. And we're going to look for North American and the biome of taiga. And that should give us... And let's look for foliage type, and we're going to go for trees and bushes. And we're going to put some trees too big. No, we're not doing Christmas. Not doing Christmas. Too big, too big, too big. Let's see, how's that? That's clipping. That's clipping. There've got to be some trees that fit in here. Here we go. That looks pretty good. And let's try this one. And they don't really seem to be clipping, and they look pretty good. And that sort of hides it. And let's see about some bushes, maybe. Too big. Way too big. How about some actual bushes like that? There we go. This thing needs to go away. There we go. So that just sort of covers up the staff nonsense a little bit, so it makes it a little bit prettier. If we look at the negative impact, we should be okay. Yep, it's just off the path, so we're fine. So let's go ahead and save this game right now. And we're finally cooking along, which is good. So we've got our staff facilities in, and now we need to hire some staff. So let's start this going. We're going to close the zoo because we don't have anybody in here yet. We're going to need a keeper. And we're going to definitely need 2 vets. One to do research, and one to actually be a vet. We're going to definitely need a mechanic. We already have a caretaker. We need a mechanic. And we're going to need... we're not going to need security yet, so we're going to leave that alone. So now let's take a look at these guys and how much we're paying them. And let's just pay them the minimum we can pay and keep them happy. Oh, no. Okay, we'll keep her happy. This guy, we can pay a little bit less. Keep him happy. So is that everybody? Let's see. I think we still have... Let's see. How are we doing here? Up? Yeah, we can lower this one's salary a little bit. They're still happy.
Oh.
And we can lower that one's salary a little bit. I think that's good. That'll save us a little bit of money. We're going to be losing money for a while. That's okay. Let's go ahead and save the game again, because I really don't feel like doing that over again. So we save, and we overwrite. Alright, so now we have to create an exhibit. So let's pause the game and decide what kind of animals do we want to get. So let's take a look at the market. I wish you could filter by biome, but let's take a look. Can we get some, let's say, grizzly bears? Alright, looks like we can. Let's first look at males. And sort by appeal. Let's actually sort by age. So they need to be at least 6 years old. All of them are. We want them to be fairly young so that we keep them for a while. We want to have some pretty good numbers in here. Most of these are pretty crappy. Low longevity is not too bad in a really young one. Oh, this one's good. 2,000 bucks, but hey, he's pretty good all the way around. So let's grab him. And now let's go females. And again, let's look for young ones. Oh, and she's pretty good too. Alright, so let's grab her. So we have 2 animals. We're going to select them. And we're going to put them into quarantine. Right, and now we're going to start the play button. And so what's going to happen is they're going to be checked for diseases. The last time I had a disease. So let's start the vets. One of the vets can do research. So let's just start with something pretty common, like maybe tularemia. That's what I had the last time. Quarantine is full, staff is queuing. Okay, so that staff is in there. No one's in there. Well, we can have one of the vets do. Let's just research that disease for now. And there they go. So one of them should end up in the research center doing research. So there's the vet doing the research. And the other vet should be in the quarantine center. So we have our bears quarantining. And then we want to build a bear habitat. And I don't want to make the same mistake I made last time over here. So what I'm thinking is we could potentially put a bear exhibit up here. So let's take a look at this place. There are some obvious places for habitats. And we're going to need, if we look at the gold standard here, we're going to need 7. Right? So there's 1, 2, I would say 3 and 4, 5, 6, 7. And there's a whole bunch of room down here. We can also go across the water, but we're not going to do all of that yet because that's too much. I think we want to put our grizzly bears here. And so what I'm going to do, if I can, is maybe see if I can build a rock bridge over here. Let's pause it. I'm going to build like a rock bridge over here. And then build the enclosure on top of it, perhaps. I'm not really sure how I want to do this. I really like this section, but I feel like I'm maybe asking for too much trouble. Let's cut it across this way. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and build a habitat. And then I'll bring you guys back. Alright, we're back, guys. After massive amounts of frustration over here, trying to get the water to fit, and the terrain just not cooperating, I decided to make this giant thing, our grizzly bear habitat. They should like this. I don't know if they're going to like the purple flowers, but they should love the trees. So now we just need to create a staff path. We need to create an area for people to view it, and I'm going to put the staff path kind of around the back here. And let's see if we can maybe move some of this stuff to get it out of the way. And now we're going to put a staff path back here. Okay, so that's enough. And now we're going to put in a gate. Should put it, yeah, let's put it right there. So the staff can come in. And we're going to definitely give the grizzlies a den in the back. But let's see how they're doing in quarantine. Let's run the game a little bit and see how they're doing. So let's check our zoo. Researching Bordetellosis. Let's check our animals. To quarantine. Ready to leave. Okay, so they are ready. So let's go ahead and take these two. Boom, boom. And move them here. Bang. Alright, so let's get this habitat ready. We definitely need to, in the habitat, create food and water. So let's go to species, grizzly bear. So there's a large food tray, which we can put in front of the viewing area so people can see. And then a water area, the water nozzle over here. And we can maybe create another water nozzle back by their shelter when we create it, but that's the minimum. I don't think we have any food enrichment for them. They don't need to climb. We do have some bear shelters. So an 8x4 should be plenty for these guys. And I'm going to put this in the back here so that they can get away from the people if they want. And our grizzly bears are here, so we're going to be able to open the zoo as soon as I fix this up. So let's pause. So we're going to open the zoo so people can come in. And so they aren't happy with enrichment. There's nothing I can do about that. Terrain. They don't like long grass, so we're going to need to switch to short grass. And let's increase the size here because they absolutely hate long grass, so let's just get rid of it all. They should be much happier once I get rid of all the long grass. So basically, we're mowing the lawn. So they have a little bit too much short grass. We can give them some rock. Maybe over here. And they also like soil. So let's do some light soil. In different places. So where is the long grass? Ah, over here. Alright, so let's shrink this down. Yeah, not quite that small. So all along the border here, it's pretty clear that that's part of the problem. Yep, there's a bunch more here. We give them some dirt. Make sure we took care of it under the shelter because you can't see what's under there, but there's still too much long grass. This is really a pain, and I think it would be nice if they allowed you to see it like with a color map or something, so you could see where the long grass is, because the long grass in particular is very hard to tell from the short grass unless you are zoomed in like this. So we got some dirt. Alright, so we're getting close. There's some more over here, hiding back behind all these trees. Of course, it's probably my own fault for doing this in an area that had a bunch of trees already, so I couldn't see what I was doing. But if we're lucky, the plant cover may be enough, and this should be just about right for them. In terms of the plant cover, anyway. Let's take a look. Oh yeah, the plant cover's perfect. They're very happy with this forest. So once I get the long grass sorted, we should be good. So I'm going to pause it here. I'll keep looking for long grass, and I'll bring you back when I've got it all taken care of. Alright, we're back. I gave them a little climbing platform. It doesn't really count as enrichment for them, but I figured they could play with it. We don't have any other enrichment items, and so the bears are just going to kind of be stuck messing with each other for now. Let's go ahead and create a path for people to view these guys. And I guess we're going to continue with the natural path. Or we want this one, I guess. No. Let's undo that. Let's see if we can start it. There we go. So we have a little, whoops, no, undo that. We have a little diversion where people can walk along here to look at the animals. So now we go into facilities and we go into favorites. We have some donation bins, and I'm going to change the color. I'm going to make this sort of brown and gold. And we'll put a donation bin here and a donation bin there. We're also going to need trash bins. Let's favorite these two as well. We can color these. I'm going to go ahead and color this sort of a reddish. Apply. And we'll put a trash bin. Let's say we'll put trash bins here and here. And recycle bins here and there. And let's see if we can get some benches so people can sit along the trail. Are people coming in? We have 121 guests. They're all coming in to look at the bears. Very cool. So now we need restrooms. We definitely should do that. So let's go ahead and put restrooms over here. Guest facilities. Toilets. Why can we not? There we go. And there's the toilet. So let's take a look at our research. How is it going? Almost done with that. The other vet can probably get started on grizzly bears, and then when this one's done, we'll just cancel out this research and leave him come off. And who is that? Zoo ticket prices are great. Okay, excellent. What are our ticket prices? 3 and 3. I think we should do 2 for children. I think children should be cheaper than adults. And we're losing money, but that's okay. We have our first exhibit, right? So we have 1 of 3. Our first habitat, rather. And speaking of exhibits, we might be able to put some exhibits up here as well, maybe over in this area. But I was thinking more putting exhibits down in the bottom. Maybe I should put the exhibits here, since this is really rough to try and get a habitat in. I mean, we can. I feel it's so weird, like walling it off here and not using this part of the terrain. But anyway, so these guys, how are they doing? Their welfare is pretty good. Their enrichment is bad, but otherwise they're really happy with the coverage. They're reasonably happy with the terrain. We have a little bit too much long grass, but not that much. They're okay on social. They're a mated pair. Hopefully they'll have some babies for us. Now these guys are stuck in the rain, and we should put out an information hut to sell. So let's do that, but let's see, how much time have we taken? So we're 23 minutes. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to stop here, and I'll start designing an area over here for like the information hut and guest facilities. And I think what we're going to do is maybe branch off here and then come back to the road here, and we'll have those facilities in this area. So let me pause it here, and as I get that set up, I will bring you back. Alright, so we got the path worked out. We've got had 175 guests in the zoo, so all we need is to create some habitats, and we will get the bronze star. But in the meantime, guest facilities, we want an information hut. Let's go ahead and take the Planet Zoo themed one, since I don't really have the ability to make better themes. And I'm going to put the information hut. Should we make it directly across from the restroom? I think so. I think that works for me. Let's put it right there. And so now if they want to get umbrellas and stuff, they can buy them there. We should also include a drink shop. Oh, there's a vending machine. We should definitely put in an ATM. Let's put that near the information hut, so people can get money. We should put in trash bins. Again, with the kind of reddish color. Put a trash bin and a recycling bin there. This way people can use that. And now for guest facilities, we can put in a drink stall. A Gulpy drink shop. I better watch my money, but it looks okay. We'll put the drink shop behind the information shop. So we got a Gulpy there. And a beef, cheap beef. There. And let's go ahead and again put some garbage and a recycling bin. And over here also. Just so that, you know, people don't, you know, have to waste. I think I'm also going to grab another janitor, another caretaker, and I'm going to put him up here. And then let's pause this. Let's deal with work zones. The work zone manager. So let's create a new work zone. And I'm going to create a work zone up here. Right, and this is going to be called the plateau zone. Okay. And so we are going to assign this janitor that we just hired to the plateau zone. The other guys don't really, I feel like, need a work zone yet. But I just want to make sure that he stays up here or she stays up here and cleans things up. The other folks should come up here to this habitat, which, by the way, we need to name. We're going to call this Grizzly Plateau. Alright, let's continue. So we're doing alright. We have some food, we have some information, we have our staff doing okay. There isn't a staff room up here, but they're just going to have to live with that. The grizzlies should be alright. Are they hiding? They're hiding from the rain. Very cute. It's November, they're going to start hibernating. So we need to get some other animals in here because these people are going to get bored. Tickets are underpriced. Well, I'm not going to raise them yet. Hey, we've had some donations. About 900 bucks. That's not too bad. Alright, so we need to build another habitat. And I think since we're already up here on the plateau, I think I'm going to build another habitat over here. Maybe we'll do 2 habitats here. We can kind of split them. We can have one over here and one over here, maybe for some smaller animals like a Galapagos turtle or something that don't need huge amounts of space. But we're going to do that next time, guys. I think we'll stop here as we get to early December of year 1. We're working on our Bronze Star, but we have a ways to go. Until next time, I am Scrapperlock, and this has been Planet Zoo.